Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Minecraft Challenge World, right as we have a tree growing there in the background. Today we will be completing a project that I have been meaning to do, and you may think that that is the roof of the house. As you can see, that is not quite done yet. And though that is what I'd like to do, I've had a chaotic week at work, so I'm probably going to have to put that off another week. But instead, I've got a lot of resources put together that will allow us to finally finish off this sheep farm. So yes, today we will be building a Wool-O-Matic. And right here I have basically all of the materials that I need, and it has heavily depleted my iron stores. I've still got a little bit that I can work with, but there's a lot that went into that. So you can see here that we've got our little hallway dug out and ready to go. But before we start on that project, I want to begin today's video with how we ended our last episode. And that is with knocking out a couple more enchantments on our armor. So let's see what we can get on our chest plate and on our boots, because let's see, we have Unbreaking 3 on the leggings and Protection 4 Aqua Affinity on the helmet. I wish we had something a little better on the leggings than just Unbreaking, but let's see if we can't get decently lucky with these other two pieces here. So grab a little bit of lapis. That'll be enough to enchant both of these. And then let's see what we get out of here. We've got fire protection on the chest plate, which isn't terrible, but protection 4 on those boots is going to be much better. Wish that it also had feather falling. That's just not the case. And then we've got Unbreaking 3. We can also get Unbreaking 3 on the level 2 enchant. So it makes me wonder if Unbreaking 3 is going to come with something else on the chest plate. And it got Protection 4 as well. That is actually awesome, because we've got a nice bit of protection on all of our armor except for the leggings. So I actually think that we are going to just equip this armor and shelve the rest of this, because now we've got fully enchanted diamond armor, and that's really going to help us out quite a bit when it comes to roaming around the world and not being in as precarious as positions anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and place some, or what was remaining of our iron armor on this armor stand over here. My helmet broke in between episodes, and because I'm kind of tight on iron, I can't be bothered to build a brand new one. So we will take care of that at a later time. But let me walk you through what my plan is for this sheep farm. So first things first, we need to come around and we need to take these dispensers and these observers, and we're going to need to be placing them in the correct location. So I've gone through and I've knocked out the glass from the bottom side of these pens, and if we place the observers right like that, we should be able to get them facing in towards the pens, which is ultimately what they need to be doing. And it probably would have been easiest to set all of this up before getting all of the sheep in here. However, that doesn't always work out the way that you want it to, mainly due to the fact that in our case, we just didn't have the resources to do so, because especially the quartz to make the observers, we didn't acquire until this last episode. So that's fine. I'll knock out the remainder of these, and then we'll switch around, go back the other way, and do the observers. Okay, we got perfect placement on all of those. So now we'll want to dig down, and we'll place our observers facing that way, which is the way that they need to be placed. So now we just need to dig around a bit and make sure that we can place all of those correctly. And actually, we don't want to fill in this top block, because we're going to need to have some redstone dust that goes in there, which I do actually have on hand. So we'll just keep that at the ready for placing in as we finish up here. I actually think I'm going to redraw the way that I have, or reorganize, shuffle around the way that I've got this a little bit. So let's backtrack, get the redstone dust in here. Okay, so now that we've got all of the observers and dispensers in place, the next thing that we're going to need to do is place down our hopper array, and we're also going to want to get these mini minecart with hoppers in our inventory, because this is kind of the more tedious process for what we are doing, because we are essentially at this point we're setting things up to be an effective collecting system. So I'm going to put all of these down here, and we're going to have to temporarily move some things out of our inventory into this chest just to make some room for it. And I'm hoping that I can pick block these back up. So let's go ahead and place that there. And that should be what we need to really get the ball rolling here. So first off, we've got to put a singular hopper here leading into the back of this chest. And then we're going to do another one leading into the back of it there. And then we'll want to do the same thing here. But since this is underneath one of our sheep, what we'll need to do at this stage is place a rail on top, and then place a hopper minecart on top. And I can't pick block that into my inventory, but it's not the end of the world. We'll just move some things around. And then we'll just need to block that off, and then rinse and repeat this process a couple more times. And that's really just the more tedious nature of what we're trying to do today here. Right, that is all of the hoppers and minecarts with hoppers and all of those goods placed exactly where they need to be. So that is excellent. And now we'll just have to see if they do indeed start collecting. They should be just fine in that regards. And I currently don't have any weaponry on hand because I spent all of my iron on other goods. So let's see if I can get this guy to help me out a little bit here. There we go. Good boy. Have a steak. And unbreaking 2 gold leggings, that's not terrible, but anyway, let's just see if we can start sorting out a little bit of this wool. Now, we've got a really nice collection zone for the wool right here. And since there are 16 different colors, if we block off our channel like that, we should be able to store up a fair amount of those fairly easily. So we're just going to come through with some shears, and we're going to manually shear our sheep initially just to get the different colors we have down there. And ultimately what we're going to want to see is the top 3 rows will be dedicated to one color, and the bottom 3 rows will be dedicated, I guess, to one set of colors, and the bottom 3 rows will be dedicated to the next row of colors. And I don't quite have 3 of all of them because I didn't get super lucky on the rolls here. So we'll just kind of have to see if there's others we can get. I know the white sheep has regrown its wool, so we'll go ahead and clip that. That'll give us all of those. And this hopefully will be the last cut. I think it was. Because if we come down here to our end collection chest, yes, we saw the remainder of that roll in. So now we've got a couple of holding spaces for all of these colors of wool in here. And at this point, we just need to prime the systems and let them run. So let's go ahead and do just that. Now, I'm still a little bit paranoid about these passing signals on to each other. So if I take out these placeholder blocks, then we should be fine. And then we'll run over this way. And we just need to prime those dispensers with some shears. So let's go ahead and do just that. We're going to invest a stack of iron, or no, it's a half a stack of iron is what we need. And that's gonna put me into my last stack of iron, which is okay. We're gonna get more. It's just a little bit of a tedious process to get these farms up and going. But I'd really like to have a good amount of wool present. Okay, there we are. Bunch of shears. So we'll go around and place them, or place a pair into each of these dispensers. Okay, that's it. The wool farm is up and running, and we just saw that blue sheep get sheared right before our eyes, and the white one as well. So any color of wool that we need for carpets or other things are not only in here, but they're getting sorted well enough also. And as we collect more and more, we've got storage inside that we'll be able to transfer this over to, because I do have a chest for wool storage in here, though looks like black wool is all I have for the time being. And I know that that was here that we had that. So I'm just going to go ahead and place some of these glass panes in there to diversify, or give us that slot holder and keep our numbering and our organization a little more consistent there. But I'm happy with that. That worked out really well for us. So I will probably end up going around with my fortune pick and collecting up, I think copper is what I want to go with. And I need to start working on getting some wax as well. So that's not going to be a whole lot of a fun project, because I think not only do I want to have copper on the roof, but I want to have a very specific shade of, or oxidation of that copper for the roof, or maybe a mix of the two mid stages kind of randomly scattered about. So we'll just kind of have to see if I'm able to get that to pan out at all. But that is another day me's problem to fix and resolve here. So I'll have to grind that out. If that's the route I want to go with, it'll probably take a couple of additional episodes before I actually get to the roof. But if we don't do that within the next video or two, then it's not the end of the world. But I want to thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure that you leave a like on the video. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe for that daily variety content. And with all that being said, I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.